Welcome to episode 2 of the Premier League Roundup. Second episode. The first episode actually got a bit of views for the channel of my size. I think it's mainly because I put Pochettino and Stellini in the title for last week. Pochettino is still not confirmed to Chelsea, but I haven't seen any other candidate. I've just seen that company has been approached, and that is it. But we are going to talk about just the Premier League in general. This is the show where we don't actually talk about West Ham. We talk about the other teams that have played. And there was a lot of goals over the weekend. And there's a game on tonight, Leicester-Everton. That will be a big game for the relegation battle, which we're not out of as a West Ham fans, but I don't think we are going to get relegated. We'll scrape through. We only need 2 more points, pretty much. So, all right, let's start with the main game, Liverpool-Tottenham. That ended in a 4-3, and it came to a point where you think, are they going to do another Newcastle? And they started bad against Man United, but Man United didn't put their chances away. But Liverpool are way more clinical than Man United. And Liverpool went 2-0 up very quick. And then, what I will say, there's a lot of debate about Dyer versus Romero for the penalty. And I watched it back, and I can see what people are saying. Why is Eric Dyer, as you're the central centre-back, why are you rushing out, stepping up? You're not that kind of centre-back, for one. You're barely a footballer. You're in a 5 at the back where nobody's going to step out, and you're all kind of just sitting back anyway. As soon as Eric Dyer steps out, threaded a pass to him, Romero lunges in. Now, Romero does this a lot, and I still think you should share blame for that. Because you don't have to jump in. Eric Dyer, though, gives the fucking space off, though. What is Romero doing? What is Dyer doing? It's just, they can't work together. Listen, I know people are going to say, Romero will do better if he's around better centre-backs and all that kind of shit. He probably would, because look at Argentina. I get the point. I get that point. But at times, you don't need to just keep slicing people through, getting second yellows. I'm not saying he was the sole reason, but it was part of the reason for the Milan loss. When they lost to Milan, he got a second yellow. He's done it multiple times. He's a bozo, and Eric Dyer's a bigger bozo for just stepping up. Tottenham did well after Liverpool scored their third. Van Dijk got ripped apart by Perisic. Heung-min Son has scored a couple goals lately. He's kind of been on form. And I think that's down to maybe they're taking the handbrake off a little bit. They're still playing the same formation, but they are taking the handbrake off. And I think Ryan Mason deserves credit for that. He's probably not right for the job, but because he is so popular around the players, I think he's a voice that they listen to. You see Pedro Porro and Perisic, players that have not played with him, even they've embraced him like he's part of like a proper manager. It's like, I think Ryan Mason knows how to get the best out of them, but he should have been the interim in the first place rather than Conte's assistant, which is weird. But Tottenham came back and they did really well. And as soon as Richarlison was about to come on, I was like, he will score his first goal for Tottenham. Because it's against Liverpool. He's an Evertonian. Well, he's not an Evertonian, but he embraced Everton within his core. And he loved those kind of games. Like the Merseyside derbies. He was the guy who would turn up in those kind of games. He goes off the fans' energy, shushing the Liverpool fans. It was scenes. It was 3-3, and I was like, oh, Liverpool have bowled that. From 3-0 down, it was a good comeback from Tottenham. It was a great comeback from Tottenham. But then all of a sudden, Lucas Moura. Why is it, the thing is, I'll say that's the main thing Ryan Mason did wrong, is he put on Lucas Moura. I don't think Lucas Moura has really done anything good since he did that Ajax comeback thing, because there was one game where Nuno Espirito Santo got sacked. It was his last game, and that was the last time I think Lucas played well for Tottenham. And the fans booed because Lucas actually played all right then. All right in that Man United game, and he got taken off. He shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be at Tottenham, if we're being honest, because Tottenham should have been a bit more ambitious, but I think it's because of the sentiment, maybe. I don't know whether Tottenham fans are watching this. Maybe they can tell me, but maybe it's because of the sentiment of why he's still here. Maybe that's why Eric Dyer's getting new contracts and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I was saying about Liverpool Tottenham. By the way, excuse me for my voice. It's sore. It's dry. My throat's dry, and yeah, I feel fucked. But Jota scores right at the end after Lucas Moura gives the ball to him, and I'm just thinking, what the actual fuck are you doing? You can't give players that are that clinical that kind of space. And what a game that was, because we thought Tottenham nicked it, and then Liverpool fucking nicked it. And Liverpool did not deserve that. That was probably a deserved 3-3, but yeah, that's the Premier League. Now, the next game I would like to move on to, I watched this game over the Man City one, Bournemouth versus Leeds, because the reverse fixture was 4-3, so I'd imagine there would be more goals. It was 4-1 to Bournemouth. And there was also a video of, I think it was before the game, where Leeds fans are coming out of the hotel, the kids trying to say hi, or waiting for something to be signed as an autograph. And there's been a trend lately of trying to catch footballers out like that. And Leeds players do not care about their fans whatsoever. I don't think there's a Leeds player that cares about their fans like that. I think the last one that you had that was Phillips and Rafinha, and they both left. And whether it's Javi Gracia or Jesse Marsch, both bad appointments. These Leeds players cannot defend. It doesn't look like they have any sort of unity. Ilan Melia, oh my god, what the fuck? You could have defended your net so many more times than you actually did. And there's so many shots that you could have stopped, but you kept flapping. You kept flapping at the ball. And I don't understand how many mistakes you can make before the number 2 goalkeeper comes in. Because he's cost Leeds a lot. And I used to rate Melia. But I don't know, man. I don't know whether he's going to recover from that. He just, yeah, I don't know what's happened to him, but maybe he's always been like this and I just haven't noticed, but I've noticed a lot lately. A Liverpool game, Palace game, etc. Like, you can't be flapping at the ball like this. But it is what it is. The Leeds put out a PR statement, a message from the players about subsequent posts on social media. They said, firstly, the performance was not good enough. There was no other way to look at it, and a way to respond is on the pitch. Leeds fans travel up and down the country in huge numbers and deserve more than this. What is just as concerning to us as a group is the video of us leaving the hotel. Words can express how sorry we are that the youngster in the video wearing the Leeds kit is not showing more love from the squad. On the match day, we do an activation talk before and after this. We step for photos and autographs to ensure we interact with fans, but also that we are on time when leaving for games. However, there is no excuse for not acknowledging fans, and if the parent of the fan wearing a Leeds kit in a video can make themselves known to us, and that we would be grateful. We do not believe that the fight is over, and we will keep going until the last ball is kicked this season. Thank you again for your support. Now, they made an excuse by not making it, by even saying just afterwards that they're not making any excuses, like they needed to be on time and stuff, and it is disgraceful. You've got to interact better with the fans, and there was more of a spirit with the squad in the first season of back in the Premier League and the last season of the Championship. You know, that kind of era, the Bielsa era, let's say, of Leeds was way more. Everyone was way more close with each other. So it's difficult. It's difficult. Just interact with fans. Like, fans give their all. Leeds fans are some of the loudest in the league, home and away. And as much as the fight isn't over, they've got a lot of tough games coming up. I'm actually going to... Let me go to Google and give you the Leeds United fixtures. Because that is what's going to decide when they're going to get points. Leeds United, they've got 4 fixtures left. Man City away on a 3 o'clock kickoff. Newcastle at home, 12 o'clock kickoff. You can get something from Newcastle at home and Tottenham at home on the last day of the season. And they've got West Ham away. They can beat us easily. They can easily beat us. They beat us last season with that defence. So they could beat us again. We don't score goals, so we only score from set. If we do win that game, we'll be from like a set piece or something. Like it's just common sense. But to be honest, I think Leeds are fucked. I think Everton and Leicester, the two teams that are playing today, will probably have better chance of surviving. Although Everton's fixtures are fucked as well. I think it's just their home form is Goodison Park and etc. That kind of stadium you don't want to mess with. And Leicester just have the most quality. Nottingham Forest have a really bad away record. So they've got Southampton this weekend, so maybe they'll get a win out of that. And to be fair, one win could decide everything. Like literally one win between all of them could decide the whole relegation battle. And the last thing I'll talk about is the Man City Arsenal title race. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this, it was a midweek game. Man City played against Fulham. Fulham equalised, but Man City dealt with them. Nathan Ake is injured, but Akanji has been playing as a left back. Pep is mad. Pep is actually mad. But Kyle Walker's come back in. Stones in midfield, sometimes as a flat back four. Haaland has scored 50 goals in a season, so well done to him. And City have risen again. What I will say, I'm going to talk about this probably at the end of the season, but I was obviously wrong about Mikel Arteta because I said Arsenal will finish 6th. But I thought they would win the league after the Man United game when Enquiries scored right at the end. But Man City have risen again. And the lesson that I will always learn now is if Man City are somewhat close, even if it's 8 points behind at this stage of the season, unless it's like prime Liverpool, like prime Klopp Liverpool, they will rise and win the league. And they could do the three-peat and the treble. Now, I don't think they will do the treble. I think Real Madrid will beat them. Because as shit as they are in the league, they always rise in the Champions League. And this Man City team is different. And I'm sure Man City fans will believe that they will win the Champions League. This is their year. I thought last year would be their year. I thought Mahrez scored. I was like, wow, Man City Liverpool final. All of a sudden, Real Madrid scored 2 goals. And then the extra time, they scored a penalty. And then Man City were out. But maybe Haaland will change that. Maybe Haaland versus Militao. If I was Ancelotti, I would play Rudiger for that kind of game. Like, he loves that kind of battle. So, he's fast, he's strong. Maybe Alaba could deal with that as well, but whatever. But I think Manchester City, like, even if they take long to click, they will let you go past and then they will come back. That's how Man City work, and that's how Man City operate. It will be interesting next year because they probably need a bit of a rebuild, a bit of a revamp in their squad, and they've got the money, so they don't always splash like lots. They only splash where they really need to, but it'll be interesting to see who leaves and who joins. If I was Man City, I would go get James Maddison, like someone like him as a midfielder. I think if Maddison gets to be under Pep Guardiola, I think he could be one of the best players in the league, and I think he already is one of the best players in the league for me. So yeah, we'll see about that. But Arsenal have bottled it. Like, you can't throw away all your other competitions to focus on the Premier League and be 8 points clear at the World Cup, then continue to be 8 points clear, and then you bottle it. Like, come on. Like, you should be beating us for starters. How did you bottle it to us? How did you bottle it? Well, how did you let Southampton score two goals? How did you get battered by City like that? People get battered by City, but you're meant to be a title challenger as well. Liverpool, from what I remember, when they were both battling for the league, they never really... I don't think Liverpool got battered like that. They always put up a fight at the Etihad. But Arsenal players didn't. And if this was any other team, we'd be saying this is a bottle and this is a bottle. You can't throw away all your trophies for a one trophy to not win anything. That's a poor strategy. But they've done well this season. If they can carry on, I don't know. I don't know if they can carry on next season. I don't know. But that will be the end of the video, guys. If you do like the Premier League Roundup, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me, and the email for any inquiries. I'll see you guys later.